Today is Monday, November 4th. This is Noreen Johnson, and here are the good news headlines of the day. A new series of polls released Sunday shows former President Trump and Vice President Harris are neck and neck in 7 battleground states with less than 24 hours to go until Election Day. The New York Times Siena College polls of likely voters show Trump and Harris are tied in Pennsylvania and Michigan. In Arizona, Trump is leading Harris by 4 points, while Harris is ahead of Trump by 3 in Nevada, 2 in Wisconsin and North Carolina, and 1 in Georgia. The polls have a margin of error of 3.5%. The newspaper also reported that 11% of voters still remain undecided, which is down from 16% a month ago. Across all the battleground states, 24% of the likely voters said the economy, which includes jobs and the stock market, is their top issue, followed by abortion with 18% and immigration with 15%. Vice President Kamala Harris refused to divulge whether she voted in favor of a proposal that aims to crack down on crime in her home state of California just a couple days out from Election Day. During an exchange with reporters in Detroit on Sunday, Harris said that she had just filled out her mail-in ballot. When asked how she voted on Proposition 36, Harris ducked the question, saying this: "I am not going to talk about the vote on that because, honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or another around it." Prop 36 would increase penalties for some drug and theft crimes, rolling back a successful 2014 measure, Proposition 47, that downgraded offenses in these same areas. A summary posted online says Prop 36 would allow felony charges for possessing certain drugs and for thefts under $950 if the defendant has 2 prior drug or theft convictions. Critics have knocked Democrats, including Harris, over Prop 47 while highlighting California's struggles with retail theft, homelessness, drug use, and violent crime in recent years. Harris faced blowback on social media due to the VP staying mum on whether she voted for Proposition 36. And then this, House Republican Conference Chairwoman Representative Elise Stefanik slammed Democrats' scare tactics regarding former President Trump's stance on women in terms of abortion and IVF access Sunday. At a recent campaign stop in Wisconsin, Vice President Harris claimed that Trump would ban abortion nationwide, restrict access to birth control, put IVF treatments at risk, and force states to monitor women's pregnancies. Democrats have run ads across the country on the issue. Trump has repeatedly stated he would not sign a national abortion ban and believes this issue should be decided at the states. He does support 3 exceptions for abortions in circumstances of rape, incest, and to save the life of the mother. Stefanik told Fox News Sunday this: "President Trump wants to expand access to IVF, make birth control available, and the reason why Democrats are only talking about this issue is these are scare tactics because they are losing on every other issue." Stefanik also slammed Harris for failing to condemn Mark Cuban's recent remarks about female Trump supporters. Cuban faced backlash for suggesting on The View last Thursday that Trump neglects to surround himself with strong, intelligent women, claiming that they intimidate and challenge him. Stefanik went on to point out that under Trump's administration, the U.S. had the highest number of women ever in the workforce, the largest wage and salary increase for working women ever, and child care was affordable. And then this, according to Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate, more than 2,100 people on Iowa's voter rolls self-declared as non-citizens when registering for driver's licenses. He provided the names to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, which researched each name and determined that at least 250 are still non-citizens, but refused to tell Iowa which ones. Meanwhile, left-wing groups sued to block him from directing local officials to challenge votes cast by people on the list on the basis that the data wasn't fully confirmed. Pate wrote this in a letter: "The Des Moines field office has since informed us they had completed a review of every name. Now the office in D.C. is refusing to let the Des Moines office share those results with us. This information would be critical to Iowa's election officials in this process." As of Sunday evening, a federal judge sided with Iowa, saying no one disputed that at least some names on the list were in fact non-citizens who registered to vote, and it would not be appropriate for the court to respond by granting injunctive relief that effectively forces local election officials to allow ineligible voters to vote. And then today, November 4th, we celebrate the feast day of St. Charles Borromeo. Known as the loving reformer, he cared about people and wanted them to know that the Church of God cared about them too. His changes and reforms in the way the church was organized changed the way that the church listened to the people, all of them, not just the rich and powerful. While Charles was kneeling in prayer at the altar, a man pulled out a gun and shot him. The hand of God shielded Charles, and the bullet did not penetrate his vestment, only instead leaving a slight bruise. He was canonized by Pope Paul V in 1610. St. Charles, pray for us. And those are your daily good news headlines. This is Catholics for Catholics. May God bless you, and may God bless the USA.